Hello everyone. Today we will have obstetric lecture, and today we are going to study about the abnormality or complication during pregnancy. It is related with baby, but it's complication of mother, and the term is intrauterine death or IUD. Intrauterine fetal death, or we call it as IUD. It means death of fetus in uterus or during pregnancy where baby's weight is more than 500 grams, and usually duration is after 28 weeks. So death of baby after 28 weeks of pregnancy and baby's weight is more than 500 grams, that term is called as intrauterine death of baby or IUD, intrauterine fetal death. This is death during pregnancy, and death which is before delivery, that is called as intrauterine death. After delivery, that term is called as stillbirth. Fetal death after delivery is called as stillbirth. So that is the intrauterine death. Now causes for intrauterine death. There are two types of causes: maternal causes and fetal causes. First of all, we will see about the maternal causes. Now maternal causes or abnormalities or diseases of mother. So first and important is hypertension during pregnancy, that we called as PIH, pregnancy induced hypertension. Second is diabetes during pregnancy, gestational diabetes during pregnancy. This is the second cause for fetal death. Third one is maternal infections like malaria, hepatitis, influenza, syphilis. These are some viral and bacterial infections which are very common for causing fetal death. So these types of maternal infections. Then unknown pyrexia of unknown origin, that is PUO, pyrexia of unknown origin, where temperature is increased, maternal temperature is increased, she have fever, high grade fever, and that also leads to fetal death. Fever of unknown cause that leads to fetal death. Then other things which are very common is some diseases, previous diseases or major diseases like tuberculosis, renal diseases, lung diseases, liver diseases. These are some associated comorbidities or diseases during pregnancy that may lead to fetal death. Sometimes patient with having some medicines, treatment of steroids or any heavy antibiotics or any other treatment, that may also have some effect on this fetal death. Patient on hormonal treatment, prolonged hormonal treatment, may be the underlying cause for fetal death. Then patient with previous history of IUD, patient with any accident, injury during pregnancy, patient with any major surgery during pregnancy, sometimes patient with recent chemotherapy or radiotherapy for any cancer in her body. So previous history of cancer with treatment of chemo or radio. So these are some causes that may cause to death of baby. Anemia is the very common cause for fetal death. Anemia is also leading cause or important cause for fetal death, because if she is anemic, she cannot supply proper nutrients and blood to baby, and that can lead to fetal death. Twin pregnancy, it's also a cause for fetal death. Either that mother is not capable of supplying the nutrients to both babies, so there may be death of one baby, and there may be chances of fetal death of both the babies. So twin is the cause. Hydramnios, sometimes excessive amniotic fluid leads to death of baby, so that may be the cause of this. Various types of infections we had seen, and these can lead to fetal death. Psychological stress, excessive stress, anxiety during pregnancy, that may also responsible for improper nutrition of baby and may lead to fetal death. So these are major reasons for from maternal side that can lead to fetal death. Now fetal causes. Important cause is various types of infection to baby, that is called various types of fetal infections during pregnancy, and because of infection patient may have the baby chances of fetal death are very common. Then intrauterine growth retardation of baby. Retarded growth is also a factor which can lead to fetal death. APH and these things are related with placenta actually, but we consider it in placenta as well as fetal factors. So antepartum hemorrhage is also a cause for fetal death. Cord prolapse, cord around neck of baby, cord compression. These are the causes actually related with placenta. So we can cause it placental causes or fetal causes, not in cord. Whenever there is knot in cord or cord prolapse or cord around neck, that causes the compression of cord, and because whenever the cord is compressed, we had studied that supply of all the nutrients and blood and oxygen is from the cord. So whenever there is compression of cord or obstruction of the cord, baby will be the oxygen supply of baby will be stopped, nutrients cannot go to baby, blood supply is stopped, and that leads to fetal death. So any abnormality or pressure, excessive pressure on this cord will lead to fetal death. Placental insufficiency, that also is the main cause. If placenta is not capable to supply the things to baby, then ultimately there are chances of fetal death. Again, injury to baby because of maternal accident, hydramnios, excessive fluid in pregnancy, that is the cause for fetal death. So these are various types of causes which are related with the fetal death. A chromosomal abnormality or genetic diseases is the major cause for fetal death. Just a baby, sometimes there may be a diabetic baby, and that will also is the major cause for fetal death. Rh negative or Rh incompatibility or Rh positive baby in Rh negative mother, that is also the cause for fetal death. Because of the increased level of bilirubin, baby may have chances of death of baby. So again, some drugs taken by mother, like treatment of malaria by quinine, sometimes treatment of syphilis, anti-tuberculosis treatment, all these types of treatment can lead to fetal death. Sometimes procedures performed during pregnancy where we change the lie of baby. Whenever the baby is transverse, we make it as vertex or bridge by doing version. That means we change the position. Externally, we change the lie of baby. And during that procedure also, sometimes we compress the cord, or sometimes we do some major obstruction of the cord, and that leads to fetal death. So any procedure related with baby, like cephalic version, changing lie of baby, that can also lead to fetal death. So these are maternal, fetal and placental causes which are responsible for death of baby. This is about IUD, intrauterine death. In intrauterine death, that is death of baby where duration is after 28 weeks and baby's weight is more than 500 grams, and causes are maternal, fetal as well as placental. We had discussed just now. So those things are very important. Now clinical features of IUD, though it is a death of baby, but it will be expressed from mother. Baby cannot tell that there are some factors or there are complaints in intrauterine life. So the expressions or clinical features will be expressed by mother. So symptoms of mother are important complaint is there is absence of fetal movement. She will complain of there is absence of fetal movement, because after 6 months or after 7 months, patient have the actually patient have knowledge of the fetal movement, or she can feel the baby's movement in uterus. But if baby is dead, she will complain of there is absence of fetal movement. So that is the main complaint from mother. And other complaints are she may have offensive discharge or blood stained discharge. She may have pain sometimes. Sometimes infection, high grade fever, chills, sometimes headache and body ache, malaise. So these are general complaints, associated complaints, but main complaint is loss of fetal movement or absence of fetal movement. That is the conclusive thing. Now on examination, we'll do per abdomen. General examination is usually normal. Sometimes there is increased temperature, and rarely BP and pulse is dropped, but usually general signs are normal. Per abdomen examination, then we palpate the parts of baby baby's parts are palpable, but there is no movement. Usually when we palpate the baby, we can feel the movement of baby, but if there is IUD, we cannot palpate the fetal movement. So there is loss of or absence of fetal movement. Also when we palpate the uterus, the tendency or the texture of uterus is very flaccid, very relaxed uterus is palpated. So on palpation, we can see the flaccidity of uterus, and normal contractions are not easily felt. When we palpate, usually in ANC examination, we can feel the normal uterine contractions on palpation. Fetal have that movement, and because of that, uterus shows some contractions that we called as normal uterine contraction, but those are not felt whenever there is IUD, because fetus does not have any movement, and because absence of movement leads to absence of uterine contraction. So absence of fetal movement, absence of uterine contraction, uterus is totally relaxed, flaccid. These are the main things on our examination. Also there is absence of, important is, there is absence of fetal heart sound. FHS are absent. And when we palpate the baby, there is typical sound which can be heard, and that is called as eggshell cracking sound. But this is felt when we do actually PSPV examination. On just per abdomen examination, we cannot hear that sound. So per abdomen examination, failure of or absence of fetal movement, uterus is flaccid, relaxed, absence of uterine contraction, absence of FHS, fetal heart sound. These things we can examine on external examination, per abdomen examination. On PSPV examination, we can have this egg shell crackling sound when we palpate, or when we do the examination, and when our finger touch the vertex of baby, we can hear that sound, eggshell crackling sound, on PSPV examination. On PSPV examination also, there is maybe offensive discharge, blood-stained discharge can be seen. If there is death of baby more than 2 to 3 days, we can have the offensive discharge from vagina. Now on examination, these things are conclusive of IUD, but we cannot label that baby is dead, because that can have many psychological as well as many effects on mother. So we should confirm the diagnosis, and for confirmation we advise for USG. Ultrasonography is advised, and on USG there is typical some signs are there for IUD, that is Spalding sign is there, which is very conclusive of this IUD. There is overlapping of cranial bones. Baby's cranial bones are overlapped with each other, that is Spalding sign. There is absence of, the second is there is absence of gas shadow, because baby is not alive, so there is no gas in the uterine cavity, so there is absence of gas shadow, that is called as Roberts sign. So these two signs, Spalding sign, that is overlapping of cranial bones, and absence of gas shadow, hyperflexion of fetal spine, that is called as Roberts sign. So Spalding's and Roberts sign, these signs are seen on the USG, and we can confirm the diagnosis by USG that baby is dead. We also does not have the fetal heart sounds or movement of baby in USG. All other reports suggestive that there is death of baby. So this is investigation. Complication are important. Complication is psychological shock to that mother. So psychological upset is the major problem. We have to counsel that patient properly. Second complication is various types of infection, intrauterine infection as well as general infection, because of the dead material in uterus, and it remains for more than 2 to 3 days, or even for after a week, because patient does not have the proper sensation of fetal movement, and sometimes she felt that there may be she may not feel that movement of baby, so they does not come in time, and there may be that dead material remains in the uterus for more than some days, and that may leads to various types of infection. If it is noticed in early stage, there is infection limited to uterus, but in some cases the infection may be generalized. So various types of infections, that is the complication. Blood disorder is very common. Bleeding time usually increased in IUD. Patient's bleeding time is increased, so patient have tendency of excessive bleeding. So even after delivery of this baby, patient have chances of PPH, that is postpartum hemorrhage. And because of this excessive bleeding, patient can go in hypovolemic shock and sometimes anemia, and that is also very dangerous for mother. So these are chances of, these are various types of complication. Other things are retained placenta, uterine inertia. Uterine inertia means uterus becomes totally flaccid, relaxed. Even after delivery of this dead baby, uterus is very relaxed. So because of excessive relaxation of uterus, blood vessels are relaxed and there is continuous bleeding. So that may be the complication, uterine inertia. Retained placenta. Placenta does not deliver in time. After delivery of this dead baby, there may be chances of retained placenta. Placenta is retained in the uterus for long time. And excessive bleeding we had discussed. So these are complications of IUD. Now management of this is, as we had discussed, proper counseling is very important, because there is death of baby and that have the very negative feedback on mother, and that causes very negative impact on her health. So proper counseling is very important. In counseling we advise for proper diet, proper rest during PNC period, because though there is death of baby, the normal physiological things will be seen in that mother. So there may be excessive bleeding even after delivery. So we have to advise for proper diet, proper rest, proper supplements, iron, folic acid, calcium, even after death, because this death of baby will have more negative impact on her health. So we have to do some counseling as well as advice on her diet and rest. Now this is about the counseling part. And now active management of this IUD during active stage, that if baby is dead, there is no use to continue this pregnancy, we have to terminate it, and better option is vaginal delivery. But uterus is flaccid, we had seen there are no contractions, so normal delivery is not possible. So we have to do artificial induction of labor. We give injections like pitocin and other things from IV fluid, and we induce the artificial uterine contractions, and because of this artificial contractions labor starts, and we do normal vaginal delivery. We prefer to do vaginal delivery because cesarean is not indicated, as there is death of baby, so no use of doing the procedure, surgical procedure. So we give the preference for vaginal delivery. We do artificial induction of labor. We give injections for inducing uterine contractions, and contractions are induced and labor is managed. After delivery, proper delivery of placenta, delivery of baby, dead baby, delivery of placenta is done, and careful watch on bleeding, because chances of excessive bleeding or PPH are more common in IUD. So careful watch on the bleeding is taken, and IV antibiotics proper dose is given, because infection can be spread to body. So proper antibiotics, IV fluids, and bleeding is watched, and hospitalization if necessary for a week, for careful watch on the bleeding and infection. If even after induction of labor by some injections and other things, though there is if there is no contraction of uterus and labor cannot be proceed, we have to do cesarean. So in some cases, though baby is dead, we have to do cesarean section, because if there is no progress of labor and vaginal delivery is not possible because absence of uterine contraction, we have to prefer for cesarean. And after cesarean, the dead baby is removed, and delivery of placenta and other things are routinely managed. But preference is usually given for vaginal delivery. But in some cases, when it is totally there is flaccidity of uterus, absence of uterine contraction, in that cases we have to go for cesarean section. And as we had seen, after delivery in puerperium period, we have to be very careful, and we have to counsel that patient, and we have to keep watch on her diet, rest, and other supplements. And also we have to do follow up for her bleeding also. So these are the things which we advise in IUD, and the patient should be managed accordingly. And careful advice for the contraception, because the IUD shows its impact on uterus, and there are chances of infection in the uterus. So proper contraception is advised, so that next pregnancy and next baby will be healthy, and she should not have the history or repeated attack of this IUD. So proper counseling should be given about the contraception also. So this is about IUD. Stillbirth, I had told, stillbirth, that means death of baby immediately after delivery. So these are two different terms, IUD and stillbirth. IUD is intrauterine death, that is death of baby in uterus. Various causes we had just now discussed, all the causes, maternal, fetal and placental. Because of that, in some patients there is no absolute cause of fetal death. Unknowingly also, that we call as idiopathic. Sometimes there is no reason for death of baby, but it happens. Clinical features are important is loss of movement and other things we had seen. Investigation we advise for USG. Treatment is vaginal delivery and removal of dead baby. Careful vaginal delivery should be done because uterus is totally contracted. So if we give excessive pressure, excessive use of forceps and ventouse, we can remove the uterus also along with that baby. So careful delivery, vaginal delivery, and if it is not progressed, then we can have the cesarean section. So that is about IUD.